Hello and welcome to National Focus. I'm your presenter Mervin. Thank you for joining us. Top in the headlines, St. Martin's School students emerged top in 2012 Grade 6 National Assessment. Former parliamentary representative for the Granby constituency, John Fabien, passed away on Friday. And Dominica now holds a higher position in the United Nations e-government ranking. All these stories and more when National Focus returns. Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. 3 St. Martin's School students have emerged among the top 5 performers in the 2012 Grade 6 National Assessment. The much anticipated results were released by the Ministry of Education on Monday. The 5 top performers identified by the Ministry of Education are Selena Paquette, Kieran Williams and Kel Moreau of the St. Martin's Primary, Omondi McIntyre of the Pioneer Prep School and Keishan Peter of the St. John's Primary School. GIS News spoke to the top performers at the St. Martin's Primary School and class teacher Frances Bonney following the official announcement of the results. From a class of 33, 28 students received scholarships.
Well, I'm happy, but it was expected from me, from my parents, friends and teachers. And I'm very happy that I got it.
I feel very elated. I'm very thankful to God.
Did you see that comment?
Yeah, I did. But I expected to come out first, but I'm happy with that.
I had to study hard every night, and some nights I didn't get plenty sleep, but I still worked hard and I came out number 4.
We put God first in everything that we did. And at the beginning, the children came in with a positive attitude that they decided that they wanted to work towards it, and that's what they did.
GIS News also spoke with an elated Omondi McIntyre of the Pioneer Prep, who came in 3rd on the list.
When you heard that news, how did you feel?
I felt very happy, excited, and just happy and excited.
What do you think contributed to your success at these exams?
A lot of focus, determination, and study hard and just believe in yourself.
A principal of the Pioneer Prep, Esther Robinson, says 15 students from her school wrote the Grade 6 national exams this year. She says the school's performance this year has been consistent with previous years. The school received 7 scholarships and 5 bursaries in this year's exams.
Whenever we experience, or our students experience excellence in that area, we are all very delighted.
What do you think contributed to that high level of performance by the students this year?
Hard work, simply hard work. The discipline of being committed teachers, committed parents and committed students, committed to success, committed to working with the students, taking them from where they are to where we want them to be. So just the discipline of hard work. And of course, we are believers, we always pray.
Education Minister Honorable Peter Seja told reporters at the news conference on Monday that the performance of the students who wrote the exams this year was satisfactory.
From what we are seeing, I think that the performance has been, to a very great extent, satisfactory, given that in most subject areas, students were able to score just about 60%. I wish at this moment to congratulate and commend, first of all, the top performing students.
The minister in his remarks called on parents to recognize that their responsibility in assisting their children does not end at the Grade 6 level.
I want also to commend the parents of those students who have worked with them, not just at Grade 6, but from the very day that they were born, because the process starts once that child is born throughout his early childhood, the formative years, and into primary school. And I want to call on parents to recognize that their responsibility does not stop at the Grade 6 national exams, but that they must continue working with those students throughout high school and indeed at the college level.
This year, some 1,191 students wrote the examinations. The government has decided to award 95 scholarships and 126 bursaries this year. The amount allocated to scholars and bursars for textbooks and stationery is 500 and 300, respectively. A former parliamentary representative for the Granby constituency, Honorable John Fabien, passed away last Friday at the Princess Margaret Hospital at the age of 66. Born in the village of Benz, John Fabien had his early childhood education at Hampstead Primary School and then the St. Mary's Academy. On leaving SMA, John was employed as a sanitary inspector, as environmental health officers were then called. He worked in Vekas and Moreau before he was transferred to Granby in the late 1960s. John walked from house to house advising residents on environmental health, issues of sanitation, environmental protection and community health.
And he brought to the Ministry of Health a wealth of experience and knowledge in healthcare and health practices. And his knowledge and experience in healthcare were brought to bear on the tremendous successes we've had in the healthcare services.
2 years later, John Fabien married Ellen Alcindor, and their union has remained strong to this day.
Ellen has been a champion. Notwithstanding, she's always stood by him, and she always believed that somehow John would have got better. So I really feel saddened by Ellen's loss, and I hope that she is strong enough to continue, notwithstanding the absence of John.
John continued his education in environmental health studies both at the University of the West Indies and at the College of Arts and Science in Jamaica. Fabien was instrumental in the development of the primary healthcare system introduced into Dominica after Hurricane David.
If I had to speak about health, I think there are probably not very many people like me in the region who have worked I studied as an environmental health person in 1965, and I worked my way up to become the Minister of Health. And I've never lost touch with health. That's always, all my life, that's what I've been involved in, at different levels in healthcare.
He did his master's degree at the University of Liverpool in England and introduced the primary healthcare system in Anguilla. Before he became permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health in Dominica, John worked at the Caribbean Epidemiology Center in Trinidad. On November 3, 2011, during the Independence Day Parade of uniformed groups, he was awarded the Cicero Award of Honor.
And whereas your compassionate and caring personality contributed to your distinguished career as a public servant, and more particularly during your stint as permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health and Social Security. And whereas you have provided excellent representation in Parliament on behalf of the people of the Granby constituency, who will serve with pride and dignity for 5 years.
Yeah, they always get us.
Now therefore I, Nicholas Joseph Fabien Liverpool, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica and aforesaid, by this my warrant to grant and confer on you the dignity and honor of the Cicero Award, which I am empowered to bestow on those persons who have rendered meritorious service to the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I do further order by this my warrant that you be awarded the Medal of Honor in recognition of the services to the Commonwealth of Dominica.
I'm sort of elated, I'm happy, I'm thrilled, and I'm also humbled to know that I received the second highest award in Dominica.
Fabien, in an interview with GIS News, described the reward as unexpected.
When you work in a public service, you're not looking at awards, you're just working and trying to do your best, you know. And sometimes if you falter, sometimes you don't achieve some of the goals that you set yourself, but you keep working at it.
Fabien began his political career in 2004 after the death of former Prime Minister Pierre Charles, who was also the parliamentary representative for the Granby constituency. He contested the by-elections and emerged victorious, winning the support of 1,155 voters, with his nearest rival, Frankie Bellot of the main opposition United Workers' Party, obtaining 215 votes.
Because of his firm commitment to national development and community development, he came forward. After having retired from national duty, came forward to become the Member of Parliament and Minister for Health make his contribution, and we will forever be grateful to his family for allowing him to serve the Labour Party in Parliament and to serve the Labour Party in government.
Fabien would years later, however, announce his decision not to contest the 2009 general election. Wife of the deceased former Granby MP and Prime Minister Pierre Charles Justina Charles contested and won that seat in 2009.
I think during that time he really tried his best to see if he could help us in the constituency, to help develop the constituency and to do what he could do with the limited resources that was available.
Honorable Charles said the late John Fabien will be missed by the entire community.
I think John is going to be missed by all of us. It is, sad for all of us in the Granby constituency, because we know we are going to miss somebody who really tried to make a positive contribution to individuals and to the community and the country by extension.
Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit reacted to the death of the former Granby MP during an interview with GIS News on Monday.
It is with a sadness that we learned of the passing of John Fabien. Though he has been suffering for some time, and we had a feeling that his days were much shorter. But eventually losing him, it has been a very sad thing for all of us who knew him very well, his family, the members and supporters of the Labour Party. We've lost a very true and dedicated soldier of the Labour Party.
Meantime, Minister for Information, Honorable Ambrose George, has described the deceased parliamentarian as a true comrade and statesman.
I can recall his level of representation to the people of the Granby constituency and his voice in cabinet, speaking on behalf of the people of the Granby constituency. And in matters related to the Ministry of Health, I think he was very foremost in terms of how he saw the Ministry of Health from where it was and going forward with that ministry. And during his stint as a Minister of Health, I can safely say that he truly represented the Ministry of Health locally as well as internationally.
Minister George remembers the late John Fabien as a great friend.
Really and truly, I think he's going to be missed, and we certainly, from a personal standpoint, we're very, very close friends. In fact, we shared quite a bit, whether it was just life in general, it was about the politics, about the future of the party.
Another close friend of the deceased parliamentarian is Health Minister Honorable Julius Timothy.
I personally will miss John Fabien very much. John Fabien and I go back a very, very long way. I remember the days when John used to go to the SMA. He used to live right next door to us in Hillsborough Street. And I remember when John bought when he became an environmental health officer and he bought his first motorbike. I used to ride behind him as his pinion rider. I know you'd find that difficult. You won't find me on a motorbike these days. But in those days, I was happy to ride behind John, and we used to go in Livia Canawe and wash the bike. John Fabien was also a member of the Dominica Defense Force. And I remember the days as a little boy, I used to help him shine his boots. We used to do that with polish, cotton, and water. And those boots really used to shine a lot. So John Fabien and I have been very, very close.
Honorable Timothy told GIS News Monday that the bond of friendship between he and the deceased existed even before they sat on the same side of the House of Parliament.
I remember even while I was in UWP and I used to talk to John Fabien and try to bring him over, he always used to tell me that it would be easier for him to bring me back to Labour than for me to bring him in UWP. And in fact, he did get his wish in that regard. And as a member of cabinet with John, we worked very well together. We became even closer friends. And I really feel saddened at the death of my friend John Fabien.
A parliamentary representative for the Granby constituency, Honorable Justina Charles, was at the bedside of the deceased John Fabien when he passed away at the Princess Margaret Hospital on Friday.
I think he prepared himself for it. He prepared people around him for it. Even the way he spoke, the last time we spoke was on Wednesday. And when I was leaving, he told me, Nurse, take care of yourself, you know. And I said, yes, Rep, I will do it, because I still call him Rep, you know. I said, yes, Rep, I'll do that. And I left on Wednesday, and I thought, you know, on Thursday I didn't go, but I said, let me go on Friday. And only to find when I reached the hospital, you know, I saw him really on his last point. And at that time, I felt I could not even leave the hospital. You know, I really stayed there until he died, stayed at the bedside till he died, and left after that. So for us, it's really a painful thing to see him die.
We at GIS News offer our condolences to the family of the deceased former parliamentarian, John Fabien. In other news, Dominica now holds a higher position in the United Nations e-government ranking, says Minister for Information, Telecommunications and Constituency Empowerment, Honorable Ambrose. The minister was speaking at the official launch of Public Service Day 2012 at the Fortune Hotel last Friday. The minister attributed the higher ranking to the dedication of the service sector and the number of well-organized thrusts by government.
Some work has been done in this area, both nationally and at the level of the public service, and mention must be made of the establishment of the Information Communication Technology Unit to have, among other things, a consultancy, public awareness and education role in the area of ICTs for the public sector. An important output of the unit has been the online presence of government through its website, and in conjunction with other IT-based solutions such as a Secure World in the Customs and Excise Division, online business registration system in the Companies and Intellectual Property Division, and the Unified Land Information System in the Land Registry agencies, the United Nations e-government ranking for Dominica jumped from 105 in 2010 to 73 in 2012, the highest jump in the world ranking.
Honorable George says government has been using information and communication technology as a vehicle for economic growth and development. And that's the English segment of the news. We now join McPherson St. Luce for the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moins c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, ministre de l'Éducation fait annoncement résultat examination grade 6 jeudi. 1,100 avec 91 étudiants écrit examination là, 600 avec un garçon et puis 500 avec 90 filles. Sinon, résultat examination ça là, gouvernement décidé pour bas 95 scholarships et puis 100 avec 26 bursaries. Étudiants scholarship qui reçoivent $500 pendant bursaries qui tapent $300. Résultat là aussi voit l'école primaire Saint-Martin en Roosevelt taper premier, deuxième et puis quatrième place, pendant Pioneer Prep taper troisième place et St. John's en Guantans cinquième place. Quand même si l'on maîtresse l'école Saint-Martin Brinette Moreau, travail web et puis ces étudiants là et power mettez l'école là à tête.
Moi bien content aujourd'hui, c'est ça fait moi venir à top là. Yo travaille bien wed. Là on est en classe, ou ka wed, teacher la ka travaille wed, parent la ka travaille wed, et c'est légion la ka travaille wed. Comme principal ou ça ou content parce que ouais ça yo ka taper, ça yo travaille pour. L'école Saint-Martin toujours ka fait bien. Nous ka voyer autant d'enfants, nous voyer 100 enfants faire examen là. Et nous toujours ka taper bon results. L'année ça nous avons 28 scholarships et 12 bursaries. Et ça bien bon pour nous. Bon quoi parents ka quitter garçon yo aller tout partout. Et yo ka quitter yo ka chebe cette fille là akai. Et si ou ka continuer faire ça petit boy pas que jamais fait bien pour ça. So parents si on est un garçon, si on est une fille, fait même bitin là pour yo. Et yo ka fait bien.
Notre nouvelle Attorney General Honorable Levi Peter a fait parole qui y pas une pièce raison pour activité crime et puis violence. Honorable Peter fait parole ça pendant une cadre de discussion à ces crimes et puis violence en la plaine semaine passée. Et des affaires où là a d'un jeune monde qui a fait plainte, il pas qu'à travail, qu'à la cautionner violence, c'est bagay qui pas une pièce fondation. En même temps aussi, ministère d'éducation et puis même parlement pour la plaine, honorable Peter Saint-Jean, qui a condamné bien fort parents qui a attaqué teacher à l'occasion de l'école en pays là. Honorable Saint-Jean qui a crié à se mettre l'école qui nie évidence ces actions cela pour faire report ministre d'éducation. Police qui a aussi fait parole qui monde qui coupable, c'est action comme ça ferme, puis action comme ça autant illégal. Sinon loi éducation pays là, teacher qui a tapé protection en bas ces lois là. En notre nouvelle, gouvernement Dominica a remercié l'Agence française de développement pour venir devant faire provision 12,6 millions de dollars US qui a servi continuation l'autre des chemins basses avion Melvin Hall. Cérémonie prend place semaine passée où la première ministre honorable Roosevelt Skerrit recevait l'argent là à ce compte gouvernement Dominique. Honorable Johnson Drago, c'est monde là qui a tient position comme ministre Public Works.
Nous les really point opportunité pour complémenter l'Agence française de développement parce que comme nous savons à présent c'est un web pour avoir l'argent, nous tout attendons ça qu'a fait en Europe et puis nous attendons ça qu'a fait en France et puis pendant ce temps ça l'Agence française qui a fait l'argent available pour nous à présent à Dominique pour pousser nous devant, c'est un bon sacrifice. Et puis, le gouvernement Dominique, bien content pour ça, l'agence française qui a fait nous, qu'on a un pays pour pousser nous devant.
Et puis finalement, l'Assemblée OICS qui tient inauguration à le 10 août l'année en Antigua. Information ça sortie pendant le meeting OICS qui était pour place en Saint-Vincent and the Grenadines. Premier ministre honorable Roosevelt Skerrit qui représentait Dominique en meeting cela fait parole qui non même parlement gouvernement et puis opposition déjà voyé par grand office OICS en cette ligne. Premier ministre a dit chef opposition et puis 4 membres gouvernement Dominique qui représentent le pays là. Il dit aussi que Dominique a supporté en plein assemblée cela. Honorable Skerrit a aussi gardé devant pour bagaille qui a affecté PEP OICS discuter. Revise the Treaty of Bastille qui a fait provision pour établir l'Assemblée OICS. Yon c'est plus grand possible OICS. Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi, c'est McPherson and Luce. Au revoir.
When we come back, we'll bring you a few upcoming events and the government notices. Do stay with us.
You're watching GIS.
All farmers of St. Joseph, Moreau, Massac, Kinfield, Campbell, Warner, Cochrane, and Bells wishing to establish passion fruit plots are kindly asked to attend a training session on the erection of trellises. The meeting will take place on the holding of Mark Henry at Warner on Tuesday, 26 June 2012 at 9:30 a.m. The extension staff of the Central Agricultural Region will be in attendance. Please make a special effort to attend and to be on time. All those concerned are asked to note the following hurricane shelters and shelter managers for the communities of Campbell, Kinfield, and Layu. In Campbell, your hurricane shelter is the Campbell Government School. The shelter manager there is Hughes Canoville and his assistant is Cedric Debor. Kinfield, your 4 hurricane shelters are number 1, the Kinfield Community Center, where the shelter manager is Simeon Albert and the Jefferson McPherson is the assistant manager. 2, the Kinfield Gospel Mission Church, Newman Johnson is the shelter manager and the assistant is Eric James. The St. Martin de Port Church, the shelter manager is Hilarion Jules and his assistant is Josette Andrew. And the Old Mill Cultural Center, Emma Lafont is a shelter manager there and Veronica Graham, her assistant. Layu, your hurricane shelter is the Layu Methodist Church, shelter manager Julian Charles, assistant shelter manager is Ronalda Booley. The Geothermal Project Management Unit of the Ministry of Public Works, Energy and Ports would like to inform the general public, particularly residents of Wotton-Wavon-Trafalgar and the persons who traverse the Wotton-Wavon-Trafalgar Link Road, that well testing activities will be ongoing at the drill site located along that road. Persons will not be allowed access between Shangri-La Resort and Corner Bar along the Link Road between 12 noon on Wednesday 27th June 2012. Please adhere to any signs and instructions from authorized personnel on location. Any inconvenience caused is deeply regretted. Members of the public are asked to note that the following numbers could prove useful during the hurricane season. The Office of Disaster Management located in Jimmet, the telephone number is 448-8831 and the hotline is 448-7777. The Dominica Met Service Office located at the Kinfield Airport, the telephone number is 449-1990 and the fax number is 449-2020. The Dominica Met Service located at the Mervin Hall Airport, that telephone number is 445-7878, the fax number is 445-7849. The weather hotline is 447-5555 or you may visit the website weather.gov.dm for updated weather reports. The Cultural Division is inviting nominations from the 2012 Golden Drum Awards. Individuals or groups being nominated should have at least 25 years experience in the field of culture, and the work of the person or group should have had positive impact on Dominica. All nominations should reach the Division of Culture at the Old Mill Cultural Center in Kinfield by Friday, July 6, 2012. Meantime, the Cultural Division announces its 2012 Summer Arts Training Program for adults. Classes will be offered in steel band, art, Creole head tying, guitar, drum set, creative dance, stage management, and wood sculpture. These classes will be held during the months of July and August. There will also be a 2-week arts program for children from Tuesday, August 7 to the 17th. For further details about registration, please call the Cultural Division at 449-1804. Up next, your tip of the day. Make changes gradually. Just as there are no superfoods or easy answers to a healthy diet, don't expect to totally revamp your eating habits overnight. Changes too much, too fast can get in the way of success. Begin to remedy excesses or deficiencies with modest changes that can add up to positive lifelong eating habits. For instance, if you don't like the taste of skim milk, try low fat. Eventually, you may find you like skim milk too. And that's National Focus. As usual, we invite your suggestions or comments. Feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm, or you could visit our website at news.gov.dm, or you could visit our GIS Dominica page on YouTube and Facebook. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Mervin Matthew. Thank you for watching.
This is a serious message from the National HIV/AIDS Prevention Unit in collaboration with the St. Martin's Secondary School Drama Group.